All right, we're starting it off old school in this grouping of 8 comics with some Iron Fist from back in the day. This is from 1976, number 3. Great looking piece right here. We're going to start you walking right through it. I'm going to show you the front cover here. We'll show you any ticks on the spine. We'll show you any wear on the cover. We'll show you whatever we can. If you were here in the catalog in the gallery with us, you would certainly pick this up, look at it, make sure that it's what you want. So we're going to do that for you. I'm going to give it the wiggle jiggle here so it can get all the light on it. And of course, we record in very high definition, so you can always pause, zoom in, go back, look at what you need to look at, including this back cover, which is pretty decent shape right here. We'll shine the light on it there. You see a little bit of wear and tear on that edges. We'll look for it on the spine as well. And then you can see a couple of issues right there near the corner. Now, what we're also going to do is I'm going to open it up, show you the interior pages just a little bit, not every one, of course, for various reasons, but just to give you an idea. So what you consider to be cream or off-white, I might think of as white or brilliant white or cream or yellow or who knows. So we let you look at it yourself. I want to point out those initials there up at the top, obviously a detraction from the overall condition. We want to make you aware of it. So that's why we open up a couple of interiors, just so you can get a look and feel for yourself. As we move on to Bonanza from Western Comics, in this case, Gold Key. Sometimes they were Dell, sometimes there were a number of other things. But I love these old Bonanzas. They've always got those photo covers on a matte background there, a nice colored background. That was something that was hard to do back in the day. Photoshop, we can do that in about 3 minutes. But back in the day, that was a lot of work. They'd have to cut it out physically with some scissors and put it on that paper. And crazy to imagine. All right, so we're going to show you that back cover as well. Shine the light here and there so you can get a look at it. Obviously, some wear, but for the age on that one, over 50 years old, pretty amazing. About 55 years old on this one. We'll show you quality and condition of the pages inside. Get some of those interiors looking pretty good. Again, for a 55-year-old piece of paper, man, that's pretty amazing. So I do want to point out that little issue there on the right hand. And again, you can always zoom in and check that out. We do have the photos in the gallery, too, in high definition. So you can always look at those, zoom in, and do what you need. We're moving on here to some Walt Disney Uncle Scrooge. There he is. He's got all his nephews in the boat with him. Got a volcano, got an octopus. What is happening here? Point out a couple of issues here and there. Obviously the corner. You can see those staples even from here, but you can also zoom in on them. A little tougher with the white cover to show all the imperfections, but we try our best so you can see what you're going to get. We'll flip it over on the back side. And I do want to point, yeah, you see that little tear in the cover there? Not great. Not what you'd like to have, but given the alternatives of having nothing, you'd rather take this one to fill that hole in your collection. Nice looking pages here. We'll show you a couple of areas. We try to show you the areas that have the most whiteness to them, just so you can get an idea of the quality of paper, as well as the conditions. And again, we'll show those staples. You can see them right through to the other side. A little browning on those staples and some wear, some stress on them as well. Harvey Comics is up next. This is Casper. And this is number 103 from March of '67. Not sure why a ghost needs to get all strong, but there he is getting swole on the cover there. We'll show you a little bit of issues down in that corner. Same up here. Now, for whatever reason, a lot of these tend to be miscut. I'm not sure if Overstreet even considers that a defect or not, but you can see it mostly in that Comics Approval Code stamp up on the top. We'll flip it over on the back. You can see some more, and then the interiors here as we go. Quality and condition of the page is looking pretty nice overall. A great readable copy, again, to fill some of those holes in your collection. Most of these, I wouldn't send in any of this particular batch to get graded. Some of them are good, solid pieces, but they're readers to fill your collection. Here's Spooktown. Spooky. Again, from Harvey Comics. I do want to point out the most notable flaw here is that there is some writing on the cover. Back where, I can't see her name, was it Cliff? Decided to let the world know that this was his comic book and you weren't going to take it from him. Obviously, that takes away from, in some people's eyes, the value of the comic. I love that myself. I love seeing that kind of provenance on this, on toys, on other things. To me, it's like the patina on an old antique. It really shows you that somebody somewhere loved this, owned it, and cared for it. Your mileage may vary. We'll flip it over on the back here, and you can see the back cover. It's from 1971, so about 50, just a little over 50 years old. I don't want you to look at the top. That is supposed to be yellow. It's colored yellow. I want you to look at the bottom here, which is a little less yellow than up in the top there. That's meant to be that way. That's, for whatever reason, they colored the backgrounds in that way, so that's not indicative of the quality of paper. However, these parts are. And again, check out these staples. Now, two things you're going to note right there is that there's a little bit of spine roll on it, as well as some rusty staples, but I'm not seeing a lot of times that you'll see that inside as meaning water damage, and we didn't see that throughout. Just a little spot on the front inside cover, so we want you to be aware of it. Richie Rich Success. Again, writing on that top part. The spine has seen better days. The corners here, you got a little bit of creasing there. You got, it almost looks like it needs a trim, and if it weren't for that, comics approval stamp, you'd probably get away with it. But we are not in that business. We don't restore. We don't grade. We just bring these to you raw so you can look at them, enjoy the heck out of them, just like somebody did back in the day. We'll open up the interiors here. You can look at that. Very nice. Nice interiors. Sadly, the cover has seen a little bit better days. But overall, a nice one to put in that collection. For the amount of these that were made back in 1960s and 70s, the amount of issues, sometimes it can be very difficult to fill out a whole collection. Again, man, he wanted you to know whose comic book this was. You definitely know. But sometimes it's easier just to grab a less than perfect copy like some of these, fill that hole in your collection, and wait until you can get a really pristine one, especially with so many comics like this produced in that era, from Harvey, from Archie, etc. This is Wendy Witch World. Again, from Harvey. This is a Harvey Giant, not the Archie comic. It's from July of 1968. It's number 25. I want you to check out that spine. Again, has seen better days. Not the worst in the world, but certainly not one that you would send in to get graded. A nice readable copy nonetheless. And we'll show you that back one more time before we move right into the interiors. You got Spooky doing his thing in Spooktown, I imagine. You got Casper, you got all the ghosts. Nice way to blend everybody together through Witch World. Now, is Spooktown in Witch World? I do not know. And looking all around, pretty nice. So some good interiors right there. We will point out the spine here. Again, we always want to point out when there is some stress on those staples, just so you get an idea. And there's a little bit of roll as well. Any kind of stress on the spine. Some of these are square bound, obviously. And we're going to finish up with some Huckleberry Hound, again from Western, Gold Key, Dell, etc. There's some initials in here that we did see earlier. I'll point those out. But first, we'll start with this cover. Ooh, that top corner, not looking the best. The pink really allows you to stand out any of those imperfections and flaws, so that's good for us because we get a chance to show you everything. Flip it over on the back, show you that as well. Again, some issues here and there, but overall, not a bad piece. Let that light shine on it, do the old wiggle jiggle for you. As we open it up, go right through all the pages, show you quality and condition, colors, etc. Little sampling of the artwork. And of course, there's those initials we talked about just a little bit earlier, just to get an idea. All right, so that's going to be that. That's going to be it for this grouping. You're going to get all 8 of these, as we said in the beginning. I'll show you one last hero shot of everybody all together. You're going to get them all for one money, all one lot, all one bid. All you have to do is head on over to TheBigToyAuction.com. You can leave those pre-bids right here and now. The auction is live. It is up and accepting pre-bids. Of course, you can join us live on auction day. That's the best way to enhance your chance of getting these and putting them into your collection. Whichever way you choose to do it, as always, we look forward to seeing you at the auction.